Hey guys, it's Bunnygalot here, and today I want to share the best way, or at least for me, the best way to perfect your accent and memorize words in your target language. So we're going to be using phonemes. And I'll actually share what this even means by demonstrating it with the word itself. Phoneme would be like pho, neme. That's how you would pronounce it. Phoneme. And essentially, this is where you take the smallest sound unit in a language, you break down a word, and that helps you pronounce the word more effectively. So for example, if you want to say the word cat, you would say k-a-t, right? So the K sound, the k or the CK sound, that's like kite, right? Kite. Okay? You also use that ah sound in apple. Apple. Okay, use that ah sound. And the T sound comes from the word like top, right? Top. Cat. And you can write it like cat. Cat. But however you break it down helps you pronounce the word, but also memorize the word. And I'll use an example from my own language learning journey. I learned French myself. I would go online, I would talk to a bunch of people in French, and I would hear a word from them. And this one is very easy for me to remember because I just remember it being one of the first times. I can even pull up my language learning book from when I first was learning French. This entire thing, maybe I can take a picture and show you guys, but the entire thing demonstrates this. One word that I remember was like attends, which means to wait, or like you wait if I write with an S. So let me just get a marker. Attends. And I would write attends. Attends. And I'd capitalize this, meaning that I would pronounce it as the letter in the alphabet. It's the ah sound. In French, it's ABC. The ah sound you're going to use here. So, attends. And every time, here's a cool thing with like language learning, or at least for me, when I speak in another language, even in English sometimes, if I'm trying to like think everything through and make it sound fluid and cohesive when I speak, maybe I'm trying to remember certain words and have my sentence already pre-set for me before I say it, I read it in my head. But especially in my second language, I'll do the same thing. I will read the entire sentence in my head. My first language is English, so everything is really natural for me. It's innate. But with the second language, I need a little bit of help, and I do that by reading. I read in my head. Okay? Like when I imagine, like everything I see has pictures and words attached to it. I learned languages through video games. I would play on Rec Room, Fortnite, Minecraft, every game you can think of, Roblox, and people would point to something and say l'arbre, and I'd be like, oh, that's the tree. And when I see l'arbre, I actually visualize a tree with l'arbre on it. And when I see like a table, or I remember this very vividly, like when I learned the word tapis, which is a rug, I remember the exact room in Rec Room. It was in the French server, Rec Center French, and I learned canapé at the same time because there was a couch. So everything that I say in French or in any other language, I seriously read it. I refer back to the moment I learned that word, and I attach the word itself onto the object, and I break down the word. I probably have tapis in my notebook, like here. It's right here. This is the exact day I learned. Here, alb is literally on this page. I wrote, this is me like something years ago, 3 years ago, I don't know. I wrote that for tree. I wrote that. Okay, it looks crazy, it looks weird. Any French person would laugh and be like, what are you talking about? The tableau, tableau. I wrote it like that for tableau. I'm not joking. This is seriously what I wrote. Tapis, here. A for a. A. Ta. P. Which is rug. See, there's so many here. Like, it looks kind of crazy. For je n'aime pas, like if you want to do full sentences, like for example, I wrote, let me erase all of this real quick. I wrote, je t'aime pas, which is je t'aime pas. I wrote t'aime for that, pas for that, je t'aime pas. Like, this is so cool. Chaise for chair. For dégueulasse, it's like disgusting or ugly or something, right? I wrote dégueulasse. Magasin for magasin. It just really helps you pronounce new words, spell the words, break it down, the sounds, remember vocabulary so much easier. Like, if you told me, attends, like going back to that first example, yo, remember this. I'd be like, and next time I say this word, I'm gonna be like, attends? No, what I would think of now is attends, and I'd speak like, attends, you know? And I would remember just to say it like this. And, you know, I can understand now native speakers better because when they speak, they say attends. I hear or I see in my head, attends. Okay? And then once you get better with the language, more familiar, you know, you start reading more and you start writing more, you're going to be able to now convert it to attends, you know, the real version, because it's more, you see it more often. Obviously, you're not seeing this in a textbook, but that is the trick. That is seriously the trick. And just say it out loud many times. Break it into these syllables, these sounds. You're going to connect the sound to an image. Like I said, that is like second biggest thing, or first, depending on how visual you are with language. And then just use it in a sentence. And I promise you, like, this will improve your language learning by 10 times. You will be a better speaker with this method, especially when you are new and you don't understand the alphabet and the sounds, or just you're not very good with memorizing vocabulary right away, immediately, as anyone should be. Like, that's fine. But this is how babies kind of learn language too. I think I always bring it back to how babies learn languages. They don't see, like, they can't see in their head food, the word food. They see like foo, ood. I don't know. Like, they sound it out and they break it down very simple. They don't see the full word and they don't memorize this word. They break it down with sound because that is what language is. So try this out. If you're trying to learn any language, even English, because this is an English learning channel, try it out. Just give it a go, and maybe for like a week, and see how many words you've retained. You will be so surprised of yourself. I will share pictures of my journal all throughout this video so you can actually see it in real time, and I'm not making this stuff up. You'll see how amazing this tactic is with language learning, and I'm very sorry you have to see my terrible handwriting. But yes, thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.